Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A multi-state manhunt is underway for the man suspected of shooting 5 people in Maryland and another in Delaware.
She awoke to an emergency.
When my eyes got open, I saw the fire.
What she did next makes her a hero.
A major dent in the drug pipeline bringing opioids into Metro Detroit with charges against no less than a dozen suspected dealers. Thanks for being with us for the News at 5. Police know we just can't arrest our way out of the opioid crisis we're facing coast to coast.
But getting profiteers off the streets is a step in that effort. And today they announced a dozen arrests of suspected members of a network that has been peddling a deadly mix of heroin and fentanyl in 4 local counties. Rod Maloney live in Detroit with more. Rod.
Yeah, Devin, 10-count indictment here, grand jury indictment that is, also for selling heroin and heroin-laced fentanyl throughout southeast Michigan. But there's something much more sinister here and much more complicated in the case, and that is they can link these guys, they say, to at least 4 different deaths. This man, 26-year-old Timothy Williams of Pontiac, police say, goes by the nickname T2. They say he was the leader of what they called the Team, a heroin sales network that used houses like this one on Granada Drive and also on West Hopkins Avenue in Pontiac. But that's just where the operation started. They branched out all around Livingston, Macomb, Wayne, and Oakland counties, distributing drugs in strip malls and parking lots. Along with T2 were 27-year-old Corvassier Pittman, Christopher Light, 25 years old of Commerce, 26-year-old Dier Rayford of Auburn Hills. These 4 are already in state custody. 4 others were in federal court today for arraignments. The feds picked up 40-year-old Christopher Anderson in Tennessee today as well. Sheriff Mike Bouchard told a morning news conference this epidemic is too widespread and dangerous to leave criminals like these alone.
If you sell this death in Oakland County or in the other counties that this touched, Livingston, Macomb, and Wayne, we're coming for you. Period.
Half the group's going to face enhanced penalties with more jail time and up to life in prison if found guilty. Bouchard also held up a list of people his officers have given Narcan. That's the drug to offset heroin overdoses, 150 names in all in just Oakland County, which shows the breadth of the problem.
All of us are going to work together and find you, regardless of where you hide, regardless of what rock you're under. We're going to find you and put you in prison.
And in case you were wondering whether gang violence or gang activity is a problem, these were run by 2 separate street gangs, one called the Hustle Boys, the other called the Wall Street Guerrillas. And they've been going for quite some time now. And of course, they've been distributing their drugs, Wayne, Livingston, Macomb counties, and they've really gone to work on this thing. And one of the sad parts of this investigation is that the more recent heroin deaths that we've heard about, and there have been a number of them in the headlines recently, we're told they had nothing to do with these, that they've been working on this for quite some time, but the more recent deaths were from some other organizations that they're going after. Back to you.
Well, in fact, it's a big case, Rob, but some of these crimes do go back 4 years ago. So why did it take so long?
It's a very intricate case, Devin, because if you're going to actually establish that the drugs that were sold here in this strip mall parking lot actually ended up in the death of this person here, that's a very, very steep hill to climb when it comes to proof. And so they say they've been working on that they got 4 deaths linked to exact amounts of these drugs to these people. Is a very intricate case, takes time to build them, and that's why it's taken so long.
Fascinating. All right, Rod. Kim?
Okay, we want to update you on the breaking nationwide manhunt for a workplace shooter who killed 3 people in Maryland and may have also shot someone in another state. Jermont Terry is live in our satellite center with the very latest on this. Jermont?
Kimberly, tonight there is a nationwide search for one man. This is him right here. He is Radhi Labib Prince. He is a suspected gunman in this mass shooting in Baltimore and a second shooting in Delaware. As it stands, 5 people were shot just before 9 o'clock at a company in Baltimore, Maryland. Then nearly 2 hours later, someone was shot in Wilmington, Delaware, and police believe it is the same man. Now, the first shooting in Maryland left 3 people killed. Investigators say Prince walked into the granite company and opened fire. It's believed Prince worked at the company and targeted the 5 co-workers for reasons still unknown this afternoon. Now, after opening fire at the workplace, investigators say Prince jumped into his SUV and drove to Wilmington, Delaware. Once there, he shot a car salesman. That person was shot twice and is still alive tonight. the victim was able to tell police who pulled the trigger. Police in Delaware had a very brief chase with the suspect, but they lost him. And tonight, he is still on the loose, and he is considered armed and dangerous.
If you're with somebody, maybe these are targeted individuals that you went and you had a beef with, but turn yourself in, because somebody that maybe you don't have a beef with is going to get hurt. And we don't want any more violence. And maybe he's thought about it and been a little bit remorseful. I don't think so from what he's done. But the bottom line is he should turn himself in and deal with that, because we're going to catch you.
Now, the hunt for this gunman involves several agencies, including the FBI. Now, tonight, the investigators fear that Prince, even though he knew all of his victims, may become so desperate that he may hurt someone in his way. Of course, if you know anything, you should give the FBI a call. Live in the Satellite Center tonight, Jermont Terry, Local 4.
All right, Jermont. A massive recall now affecting more than 1 million Ford trucks just issued. The concern is the side door latches may not fully close.
And as a result, a door could open while you're behind the wheel. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester has been talking with automotive experts. And Hank, this is really concerning.
It is, and a lot of the vehicles were actually made right here in Metro Detroit, which means that many of them may have been sold here in the area too. We're talking about more than 1.3 million Ford trucks affected. As I mentioned, some of them built right in Dearborn.
This recall is big and very concerning. Ford issuing the recall and revealing information about the new safety risk. First, here are the vehicles that are affected. 1.3 million 2015 to 17 F-150s built in Dearborn and Kansas City, and the 2017 Ford Super Duty vehicle built in Kentucky. If you receive a recall notice, do not ignore it. Act on it right away.
First thing you should do is you should contact any local Ford dealership, try to get on the list so you can get your appointment and get in as soon as possible.
Because it could be a while with this many cars.
With over 1 million vehicles recalled, absolutely.
In the affected vehicles, a frozen door latch or a bent cable may cause the doors to either not open or not fully close. Also, the door may appear closed, but the latch may not be fully engaged, which means there's the potential the door could swing open while you're driving. If you learn you'll have to wait a while to get this problem fixed by the pros, here's what you can do to offer a layer of protection in the meantime.
You can buy lubricants that are good to 0 degrees Fahrenheit, graphite greases. Keep it lubed. Make sure when you close the door, give it a little snug and make sure it's latched. And if possible, if you could park in the garage, especially in the winter months that are coming, if you're not in for your service recall yet, you just don't want anything to freeze. The water will freeze and that'll stop it from latching correctly. So shelters.
So here's the good news right now. That problem has not caused any known accidents or injuries. Of course, if there have been any, Ford wants to know about it. For more information about that recall, because I know that there was a lot, we put everything you need to know on the Help Me Hank page at clickondetroit.com. Also, a programming note for you while we're talking about vehicles. Stay with us here on Local 4. Hurricane Harvey, as you can imagine, damaged hundreds of thousands of vehicles. In fact, possibly up to 1 million cars damaged. The concern now is that some of those vehicles could end up at dealerships across the country or here in Metro Detroit. So Nightly News with Lester Holt will take a look at this issue and work to show you how to avoid getting duped into buying a flood-damaged car. That's Nightly News right here at 6 o'clock after Local 4 News at 6.
All right, Hank. Well, around here, when we get into fall, it doesn't so much mean pumpkin spice to us at Local 4. It means we got a parade coming up.
We do, and Ben's got the good idea today to be out at the parade company. Hi, Ben, how's it going?
Kim and Devin, fantastic. We're here at the parade preview party, and as you said, usually we're thinking about pumpkin spice. We're thinking about turkey and mashed potatoes out here because the 91st Thanksgiving Day Parade is just around the corner. We're going to unveil the big new float coming up in just a few minutes. But right now, we're unveiling some fantastic weather. Temperatures have hit 70 degrees in some spots. There is tons of sunshine out there. What a gorgeous afternoon. The only fly in the ointment is just a little bit of a brisk wind that's hit 20 miles an hour in a couple spots. We'll see that die down tonight. We'll see temperatures drop, but not quite as chilly. So we'll look at a fantastic 7-day forecast and, of course, unveil the brand new float for this year's parade, which is just down there behind that big curtain, coming up on Local 4 News at 5:30. So until then, we'll come back with your full forecast in just a few minutes. Guys, back to you.
Tonight, the Pistons begin their new era, new home. They back downtown at Little Caesars Arena.
Yeah, we've got a great look here. Take a live look from Sky 4 here. And you can see we're above the team's new digs there. And you got people decked out in the team's colors as the Pistons welcome the Charlotte Hornets to town. Bernie's live inside the arena, which the Pistons will try to make their own. Bernie?
Well, Kimberly, you know, this is an amazing night because you have the start of the NBA regular season here in Detroit, and you have the Pistons back downtown. You might remember they left in '78, went to the Silverdome. In '88, they went up to the Palace and were very successful there. And now, 2017, they have moved back down here. Just a first look, a look around the place. It is intimate. It is really, the fans are on top of the action, and I think that's what every NBA coach would want. Stan Van Gundy is going to have a little chat here with the media in about 5 minutes. We'll go over and check it out, and we'll bring you some of his comments. But it is a beautiful building, and the Pistons open up tonight. 7 o'clock tip. We cannot confirm whether the game is a sellout or not. So my guess is, come on down. You'll find a way.
Right about the time. Yeah,
Kids?
Exactly right. That's going to be pretty exciting tonight.
Very exciting.
Waiting for that.
All right, Bernie, thank you. Still ahead, we're getting our first look at the woman police say shot a co-worker to death at Burlington Coat Factory as she faces charges with the victim's family watching.
Also, will there be a big rule change coming to the NFL involving pregame protests during the national anthem? The commissioner has weighed in. Nick?
A terrible story here in Warren. This house destroyed by a fire. The family inside at the time. But why are they okay? Well, it's because of their daughter. And she's so young, you'll be very impressed at what she was able to do.
Tonight, new at 6.
A Detroit deputy fire chief parks his DFD-marked SUV in this parking lot and then goes into a bar. Today, we tried to ask him about it.
Anything to say about it?
We'll tell you what happened at his disciplinary hearing today.
So what would this part of Detroit look like without the Ambassador Bridge, the old one? Well, the Canadians want to see that happen. But what about on this side? Well, not so much. What's the dilemma here? We'll have it for you.
Okay, Rod. Tonight, a Warren family owes a huge amount of gratitude to a very small member of their family. Take a look at this. Their home near 8 Mile and DeQuinder was destroyed by a fire this morning. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. But as Nick Monticelli reports, the reason why no one was hurt is a story in itself.
In tragedies like this, you often hear about the lives that were saved. That's definitely the case in this, considering what could have happened here. And all of this, all the lives saved, because of a 5-year-old girl. Some of us have preconceived images in our heads when thinking about a house fire. You think about the smoke, you think about all the water, and maybe you think about someone saving what's inside. That's what Isaiah Smith tried to do.
I was throwing buckets of water on it, but it wouldn't go out, so I just got everybody out the house.
The fire he was throwing buckets on started in the living room early this morning. It appears to have started on the couch. And while Smith tried to save the home, he couldn't. But there is a hero in this story, just not the one you might be thinking of.
When my eyes got open, I saw the fire, so I ran in my room, and then I woke up Daddy.
Meet 5-year-old Jamira, who saved her entire family. She ran to wake up Mommy and Daddy.
I didn't tell him that the fire was on. He just saw it and he ran in the living room.
You already know Isaiah tried putting out the fire. Meanwhile,
I was in my room and make sure my baby sister didn't fall off the bed.
And how did Jamira know not to panic and run for help?
Because when I was in school, we learned all about fire safety.
And even though this 5-year-old might have her own idea of what a hero looks like, someone should tell her to look in the mirror.
Because if she wouldn't have woke us up, we would have died from the smoke.
In Warren, Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
Great job, little Jamira. Warren fire investigators were sent out this morning, but they're still working to figure out what caused that fire.
All right, well, it's a gorgeous day outside.
I know. We
Hasn't it
just
been beautiful?
don't get this in October like this.
I know.
So we really need to enjoy it. Let's get over to Ben. He's over at the Parade Company. We're already talking about Thanksgiving stuff.
already, but I'll tell you, whatever you're doing, don't change anything because we need to keep this streak going. These temperatures are fantastic, and yes, we're indoors over here at the Parade Company, but I'll tell you, we're going to get outside as soon as possible and enjoy this fantastic day. We've seen tons of sunshine temperatures. You couldn't ask for anything better this time of year. We're beating the odds. We're in the 70s across the areas. We look at some of those numbers. Those temperatures, again, are only going to get warmer as we get through the next several days. Winds have been a little noticeable out there at 15 to 20 miles an hour at times, but generally we haven't had too much of a problem on the weather front. You can see some clouds that are off to the northwest. Notice that that line is along a cold front, but there's no rain, there's no moisture there, just enough to scare up some clouds, and that's it. So high pressure's in control as we get through the rest of today and tomorrow. That cold front slices through, tries to bring us some clouds. They'll probably be high, thin, cirrus, and that's going to be about it. Then that high takes over again and really starts pumping in warmer air as we get towards the upcoming weekend. We're looking at mid-70s for both Saturday and Sunday, but those showers that you see off to the northwest, those are going to be here for the end of the weekend. Tonight we're going down into the 50s. We'll call it 50 in the city. There will be 40s elsewhere, but I think we're going to escape the 30s tonight. Skies are going to be clear, and we'll see the winds relax as we get closer to sunset. 70 degrees tomorrow, plenty of sun again. Winds of 10 to 15 miles an hour. We'll continue watching these temperatures go up in that 7-day forecast. Mid-70s for Saturday and Sunday. Then we start seeing those numbers tumble. In fact, our lows in the next couple of days are going to look more like what we'll see for highs by Tuesday and Wednesday. So fall is coming back with a vengeance. Definitely enjoy these numbers while we can. We're out here at the Parade Company studios, and of course you see all of the floats from years past that have been stored here, and it really sort of brings you back to November, despite the weather. And coming up, we are going to unveil that brand new float for the 91st annual parade that's going to be coming up here in just a couple weeks. So stand by for that. We'll see you again in just about 20 minutes. Devin and Kim, back to you.
I can feel the attitude adjusted from here. Fall is kicking in on me all of a sudden.
That's right. Hurry up and enjoy these next few days. Okay, Ben, thank you.
Still ahead, even awareness can have side effects. Doc?
Concussions have become a major concern, but is the publicity having an unintended impact? I'm Dr. Frank McGeorge. Coming up, the key message experts say many people are missing.
Okay, Doc, and next, one of the heroes from that terrible night in Las Vegas breaks his silence. The security guard describes the terrifying moments inside the Mandalay Bay Hotel as he closed in on the man who committed the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history. Next.
The jewelry.
Today, the Mandalay Bay security guard, who was the first to investigate the gunshots leaving dozens dead in Las Vegas, broke his silence.
And instead of you just getting out of there, you saved Stephen's life, you saved that woman's life, and who knows how many other people. And so we just wanted to celebrate.
Jesus Campos was the first person to encounter the Las Vegas gunman on the 32nd floor of Mandalay Bay. He sat down with Ellen this afternoon, along with another hotel worker who showed up just moments afterward. Jesus was shot. Jesus walked Ellen through those terrifying moments.
It was a female that came out, and I told her to go back inside. It wasn't safe. Shortly after, that's when Stephen was approaching, and I told him to stay back and get cover, and that's when more rounds were dispersed.
Right.
Jesus and Stephen both say they are still trying to heal mentally after that shooting. Across Michigan tonight, two big stories coming out of the state capitol in Lansing.
We'll get to those in a second. Let's start, though, in Kalamazoo, which is where police continue their search for a 22-year-old woman posing as a bank representative. Police say Deirdre Collier calls elderly people on the phone to try and get personal information that she then uses to steal from their bank accounts. She requests credit and debit card numbers as well as personal identification numbers. A felony probation violation warrant has been issued for her arrest. Moving over to Lansing, where the Michigan Department of Civil Rights director turned down a $24,000 bonus.
The Civil Rights Commission likely violated the state's Open Meetings Act when they approved the bonus in a secret, closed-door vote. The director says he believes these taxpayer dollars can be put to better use. The commission is expected to redo the bonus vote at its next meeting, which happens on November 13th. And big news across Michigan. Educators are pushing for bills to ease the substitute teacher shortage. These bills would make it easier for retired educators to return to the classroom on a temporary basis. Another bill would eliminate a requirement that substitute teachers have at least 90 or more college credits. Instead, substitutes could hold a professional license or certification issued by the state in the field that they're seeking to teach, in addition to a high school diploma.
New at 5:30.
It might seem early, but it's right on time. Today, we take you to a very special Halloween party for children.
A phone call from President Trump stirring up controversy today. Were his words to the widow of a fallen soldier disrespectful? The White House says absolutely not.
Earlier this week, here at the Burlington Coat Factory in Taylor, two employees got into an argument. One of them pulled a gun and fired a fatal shot. Today was the first day in court for the accused shooter and a victim's family stricken with grief.
Prosecutors say an argument at work escalated to murder. This woman formerly charged with killing her coworker right in the middle of the store. Tonight, 49-year-old Sandra Lynette Waller is in jail, formally charged with first-degree murder in that case.
Prosecutors say Waller shot and killed her coworker at the Burlington Coat Factory in Warren after an argument escalated out of control. Steve Garagiola has been covering this story since it broke. He was in court a short time ago as Waller was arraigned. I said Warren, in Taylor, which is where Steve is standing by now. Steve?
Yeah. Well, you know, we cover these kind of incidents, and it's just a tragedy for everybody involved. Two families destroyed by this. It apparently started over something petty, two employees arguing while they were here at work at the Burlington Coat Factory, and now today the accused shooter, for the first time, faced the charges.
Calling case 173341FY, People versus Waller.
The accused shooter is 49-year-old Sandra Waller, who was arraigned this afternoon by video. She is charged with first-degree murder.
That's a felony punishable by life without parole.
The family of the victim, Lorraine Faison, was in court, and several of them broke down as the charges were read.
Ma'am, it is alleged that on October 16th, 2017, while at 22331 Eureka Road in Taylor.
At this point, no one knows exactly what happened inside this store just before 7 on Monday morning. The two women argued, and allegedly Sandra Waller fired one shot from a handgun, killing the other woman. The court entered a plea of not guilty on behalf of the accused and set bond.
So I'm going to set the bond at $250,000 cash or surety.
Sorry. The victim's family quietly left the courtroom after the arraignment, but did not wish to speak on camera. No, but there were tears on both sides outside that courtroom. This is just the first step of the legal journey for this woman accused in this shooting. The preliminary hearing is on November 6th. Following that will be the trial. We're reporting live in Taylor. I'm Steve Garagiola, Local 4.
Okay, Steve. A phone call from President Trump to the widow of a fallen soldier is stirring up controversy today after a congresswoman called the president's words insensitive. The White House is calling that allegation appalling. Blaine Alexander has more from Washington. Blaine?
Well, Devin, that he said, she said battle does not appear to be ending anytime soon. But in the midst of it all is a devastated family who never asked to be part of any of this.
A world away from Washington, a solemn homecoming for Sergeant LaDavid T. Johnson, one of 4 Green Berets killed in Niger. The family's personal tragedy now being thrust into the political spotlight after a phone call from President Trump and remarks they call insensitive.
Something to the fact that he knew what he was getting into when he signed up, but I guess it hurts anyway. You know, just matter-of-factly.
Congresswoman Frederica Wilson says she heard the speakerphone conversation between President Trump and Maisha, Johnson's widow.
She was in tears, and she said he didn't even remember his name.
Johnson's family backs that account, but President Trump says not true.
Didn't say what that congresswoman said. Didn't say it at all. She knows it.
In a tweet, he claims he has proof to back up his words.
Let her make her statement again, and then you'll find out.
The White House says Chief of Staff John Kelly and others heard the president's side of that call. Meanwhile, President Trump backing away from a bipartisan fix for Obamacare, one he seemed to support just yesterday.
If something can happen, that's fine, but I won't do anything to enrich the insurance companies.
The bill's co-author, Republican Senator Lamar Alexander, says President Trump encouraged bipartisan talks that led to the plan.
Well, he hasn't read it yet. I mean, he's been busy.
And so has Congress, trying to tackle big issues before the end of the year.
And about that phone call from the president, the White House says that Chief of Staff John Kelly, who lost his own son fighting overseas, said the call was completely appropriate. However, the White House is not confirming or denying the president's actual words. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine, let's talk about Decision 2017. Next Wednesday night, a week from this evening, here on Local 4, Mayor Mike Duggan and the challenger State Senator Coleman Young II will square off in their only televised debate ahead of the general election in November. We want to know what questions you would ask the candidates if you were on our panel. You can connect with us through our Facebook page, on Twitter, our website, clickondetroit.com. You can drop us a note in the mail if you'd like. And then watch the mayoral debate. Again, it's a week from tonight, live on Local 4 at 8 p.m. next Wednesday night, October 25th.
It's been interesting to see all the different people coming in. Obviously, neighborhoods is a hot topic, but
absolutely,
that traveling pool yesterday.
Which the first time, you know, a lot of people from back in the 70s remembered those.
Right.
I hadn't. That was a new one on me. It was kind of interesting to go back and learn it. But we have heard a lot of questions that people are bringing up that just really haven't been part of the mainstream conversation so far. So it's been really interesting so far.
In there.
Yep. Right. Yep.
Well, after 2 days of meetings between NFL owners and players, the rule suggesting but not forcing players to stand for the national anthem has not been changed.
These meetings, of course, come after the president has continued to bash the NFL for not making the players stand during the national anthem. Commissioner Roger Goodell says that the players and owners have found some common ground in the controversy and have decided not to change the rule.
We want our players to stand. We're going to continue to encourage them to stand, and we're going to continue to work on these issues in the community.
Both sides say that they are encouraged by what's happened and they believe that it is a good start. The players and the owners, though, do plan to meet again. We expect that is going to happen sometime in the next few weeks. They say that they are committed to continuing their current discussions.
Well, with Halloween right around the corner, some deserving patients at Children's Hospital got a spooky surprise today. A Halloween party just for them, complete with costumes, decorations, and everything. Our Paula Tutman was there.
Of course, we know hospitals are scary, particularly for children. But today at the Children's Hospital of Michigan, a little less scary.
I have the wig with the gloves.
Perhaps the only thing more beautiful than a smiling child.
I would go get a scary one at first, and they would say I'm too beautiful to have a scary.
You are too beautiful to be scary. Is a sick child with reason to smile. Today was the annual Spirit of Children Halloween party at the Children's Hospital of Michigan.
You like princesses or scary things?
This is great. I love it. I love the kids. I love the company. I love the charity.
Raquel will tell you there's nothing worse than being stuck in a hospital room, especially when it's the third time you've been in the hospital this year.
I feel like if she doesn't need the rest and she needs to get up and use some of that energy, then it's a good idea. Because I can't always do it. But when somebody else comes in, they can get her out quicker than I can a lot of times.
No tricks here, and the treats are non-food items to avoid contraindications with illnesses and medications. But who needs sugar and sweets when you have arts and crafts like these?
I want cute because I might give it to my sister. I want it scary because it's Halloween.
It's Boo La La for Spirit Halloween stores, which raise money for this event for children all over.
To date, we've raised almost $37 million for hospitals all over, and this year's goal is $8 million.
Daughter is a trooper, so you really can't see any tension ever with her. With me, it's pretty tense, but you know, I have my family and my church family and God, and so I have the peace that I need to stay in the room. I do.
And those smiles are medicine for everyone. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
That's great.
It really is.
Did you see the polar bear mask
I
there for what?
liked that. I want to know where they.
Yeah, that was a winner, I thought. Well, we're still trying to come to terms with it, given the weather that we've had, but we are just 6 weeks away from America's Thanksgiving Parade, stepping off down Woodward Avenue.
It is the 91st year of this awesome Detroit tradition, so let's get to Ben. He's live at the parade company tonight with the big unveil.
That was the countdown, guys, and here it is. This is the brand new float from this year's America's Thanksgiving Parade, and this one is 150 feet long. I'm with Diane Charles from Art Van. You're in charge of outreach for the company in events like this. What do you feel when you see this float?
It's just overwhelming. I mean, it's a wow, right? It is dinosaurs on parade, and I believe there are 1,000 man-hours put into this float. And we have the artists the sculptors who work so hard on it, and it's just amazing.
It is. Dinosaurs, it's a very sort of back in time feel to the entire float. 150 feet long.
150 feet long, and we just told Tony, hey, make it all about kids, and I think that they got a home run here, because who wouldn't love seeing this float on Thanksgiving Day?
It is one of the largest that is here, it's going to be in the parade. And when this comes down Woodward in November, we've seen so many changes in Woodward over the years. It just has to make you beam with pride to be from here, to see the progress the city has made.
You know, I've been fortunate to actually ride in the front seat with Mr. Van for the last 9 years. And yes, it's been wonderful. We've seen the roads improve. We've seen new businesses. We've seen the faces just pour on Thanksgiving Day. And so, you know, this really is, as Mr. Van would say, the best day in the city of Detroit.
It really is. Diane, thank you for being with us. We look forward to seeing you again in November. And guys, there it is, the new float for this year's 91st annual America's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which of course is just around the corner, believe it or not. Maybe it will actually be cool by the time we get to Parade Day, guys.
Well, just to feel seasonal, we need it to be a little cooler than it's been, that's for sure. But that's gorgeous. 150 feet long.
Amazing.
Every time we go down there and see a new one, it's a few feet longer.
I know.
Than the last one we've seen. Really great.
We love it, Ben. The colors are bright, and like they said, really geared for the kids, because you're going to see that. You can't,
Can't lose with dinosaurs.
No, you can't.
All right, Ben, we'll see you again in a few minutes. A history-making night for the Pistons. They are back in downtown Detroit for the first game tonight.
Sounds crazy, right? Well, Bernie is live at Little Caesars Arena. Hey, Bernie.
Hey, Karen. Hey, Devin. Yep, big night. This is it. Opening game for the Pistons. First game in the new arena. We'll talk all about it coming up.
All right, Bernie. Also, what was this pilot thinking? New here at 5:30, viral video capturing a dangerous stunt with passengers on board. Doc?
Well, concussions have become a major concern, but is the publicity having an unintended impact? From Dr. Frank McGeorge coming up, the key message that experts say many people are missing.
5 Coupe. New at 6.
Hashtag #MeToo has inspired many women to come forward with their stories of sexual abuse. Today, former Olympian Michaela Maroney released a statement detailing her ordeal of abuse at the hands of a man who has become all too familiar.
All right, Steve, also old enough to be her grandfather, but this 81-year-old crossed the line, what he's accused of doing to a young girl at 6 o'clock. All right, now to good health here at 5. The problem of concussions we've been talking about quite a bit, and it is a source of a lot of debate and concern right now.
And there's a lot of concern, too, on whether or not this publicity around concussions perhaps might be having an unintended impact. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge is here with a closer look on this issue.
Exactly, Karen and Devin. You know, if you think of concussion awareness as a pendulum, we used to be over here. Well, now we've swung to the other side, and many experts think we need to find a middle ground. Concussion awareness has certainly changed.
When I started in this field maybe 15 or 20 years ago, we would almost laugh at the person that had the concussion. Then we'd put them back into play 20 minutes later.
Dr. Stephen Broglio is glad those days are gone. He's the director of the Neurotrauma Research Lab at the University of Michigan.
We recognize that concussion is a brain injury. And we are much more careful about our management and how we treat those individuals.
But Broglio, like many experts in the field, is concerned that fear of concussions is leading some parents to pull their children out of many sports.
It's pretty obvious that as a country, as a nation, we've got a physical activity problem. I think when we start talking about eliminating sports or restricting access to sports, then that's just going to exacerbate that problem. We know for sure what happens when you lay on the couch and you don't get physical activity. We know what those outcomes look like, and they're not good.
While media reports have raised awareness, Broglio says some have also fed those fears.
Headlines are written in a way to draw people in and to get them to click, whether they actually read the article or not.
One example is reports surrounding the highly publicized study of NFL players.
So, for example, you will often see 99% of NFL players have CTE. Well, that's a falsehood. That's not true. We don't know what percentage of current or former NFL athletes have that disease.
It's true. Researchers found 99% of those tested showed signs of CTE, but it's critical to understand that all of the brains studied were donated by players and families already concerned about CTE. Broglio says there's also a key message the media is missing.
I think the thing that in the media that's not covered is really the improvements in the medical coverage and the medical care that's taken place in the last 10 or 15 years. We have a very standard protocol that most people go through. There's international guidelines on how to manage the injury.
Broglio believes in the future we'll understand much more about why people suffer concussions and how to prevent them.
We have a project where we've enrolled about 35,000 collegiate athletes from across the country, as well as some military service academy cadets, and our goal is to track them for the next 30 years.
As for the much publicized concussion crisis,
I don't think it's a crisis. I think the injury has always been there. I think the numbers have always been there. I think we are starting to get a better grasp on what they are and the seriousness of it.
Now, Dr. Broglio also pointed out there are current and former NFL players who may be suffering from other brain conditions that are treatable but may be going undiagnosed because players just assume that CTE is really what's to blame for their symptoms.
Problems like
depression, other mental health issues, for example. They might just assume that it's getting hit in the head too many times rather than seeking out the true source that may actually be completely treatable.
We're asking more questions instead of just going to that conclusion.
Exactly.
All right, Doc.
Thank you, Doc.